can get and how you can improve your skill sets using the certification programs that we have. So we will discuss all those things. So let's jump into the call. Okay. Yep. So before we start, I just want to give you a quick agenda, like what we will be covering in this 1 hour. Basically, we'll start off with discussing about what Linux is, okay, and then we will move on to the Red Hat introduction, like how Red Hat is different different from Linux or other operating systems. And in the second topic, we'll also cover how this Red Hat plays a major role in the industries. Though we have other operating systems, Red Hat plays a key role in the industry. So that also we will discuss in the section 2. And then we will move on to the job roles, like, where we will discuss what types of job roles that you can apply, or the job roles that are currently available in the market based on your certification that you have done. Okay. And then we will talk about global certifications, like what are the certification programs that we have, and how the certification will help you to get jobs or move to a next level in your job positions. That also we will cover in the global certification. And we will talk about career path, like how you can estimate your career path based on the number of years of experience you have, number of certifications that you have. Based on that, you can choose a better career option and career path. We will also discuss some of the company names who are already well versed with Red Hat Enterprise Linux and Red Hat Enterprise environment. Okay. And then we will talk about Red Hat Academy, and especially this is for the students like you who are reading or who are in the universities doing some graduation programs. For them, you will get some sort of benefits. We will talk about those benefits in the Red Hat Academy, and we will talk about certifications, like what are the preliminary certification that you can start off with before starting your career. There are some basic certifications that you need to complete in order to be a Red Hat certified engineer or Red Hat certified administrator. So we'll also look into those things, certification details. And then finally, we will end up with Q&A. So if you have any questions, we can discuss these questions at the end. And either you can drop your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask any questions if you have any questions related to this particular topic. Okay. So with that, we will move on. So the first thing is, before going on to this, I just want to give you a quick introduction of myself. I am Arvind. I am a senior solution architect. I'm working as a senior solution architect, and I have around 16 years of experience in IT industries. And I have joined Amrita as a full-time faculty close to 16 years back. And I've started my career as a full-time faculty. And then I moved into the industry, and then I've done various roles, starting from system administrator, senior system administrator, and I was a principal consultant in one of the MNCs. And now I'm working as a solutions architect, providing various solutions based on Red Hat technologies, especially on Red Hat technologies, because my core is Red Hat Linux. So there are different products in Red Hat which I'm handling. We will discuss those products, and we'll also see how that will enhance your skill set when you learn more and more about the Red Hat. And I have series of certifications. I'm a Red Hat certified architect, and I have the extreme right side, you see all my certifications, which I have completed in Red Hat. So that's all about myself. And okay, and then so then the topic for today is what is Linux. So before we talk about Red Hat Linux, it is important to know what is Linux. Okay, so before moving that, we need to understand what Linux is and how Linux is different from Red Hat operating system. Okay, so what is Linux? So Linux is an operating system. Okay. So I think most of you know that Linux is an operating system. It was, developed in the year 1991 by Linus Torvald. And the major advantage of Linux is it's a free. Yep, I think. Yep. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So coming part. So Linux is an operating system. Basically, it is a free and open source software. So the term free here doesn't indicate that it is free of cost. So nothing is free in the world. Okay. So the word free here indicates that the source code of the operating system is free. Okay. So that is, you will have the liberty to download the core operating system, where we call it as a kernel. And based on that kernel, you can create or develop your own operating system, and you can create your own operating system. That is the meaning of free here. Okay. So the reason here for being open source is companies can change or modify the operating system based on the company requirements. So unlike the other operating systems like Windows, the source code is not available. The source code is with Microsoft, and you don't have to, you don't have an option to modify the core operating system based on your requirements. So that is how this Linux is different from other operating systems like Windows. Okay, so that's the reason the Linux has gained more popularity, because it is very flexible and it is easy and flexible to change based on the requirements. Okay. Of course, this Linux runs on any hardware platform. Whether, when I say hardware platform, you can run it on a bare metal server, you can run it on a VMware or virtual environment, you can run it on a public cloud environment like Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud as well. So it doesn't matter where you are running. This Linux operating supports multiple hardware and cloud platforms. Okay, and this Linux is basically used as a server operating system rather than your desktop, because the server operating system needs a robust operating system to run the application. So that's the reason this Linux is used mainly to run on the servers in order to run the applications. Okay, so the popular distributors for Linux are Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, OpenSUSE, and we also have Red Hat. So Red Hat is the key player for Red Hat operating system. So it has got the kernel from Linux kernel, and it has developed its own operating system, its own RPMs, and this Red Hat gives an additional support to the customers who has the Red Hat, who has purchased the operating systems from Red Hat. So that is how the Red Hat is different from other operating systems. We will also look at the features of Red Hat later on. We have a couple of slides where we talk about what is Red Hat and what are the features of Red Hat compared to other operating systems. Let's hold it for a second, and then we'll come back to that portion. Okay. So the popular distributor for Linux is Red Hat. That's the key point here. The key takeaway is Red Hat. And then coming part, that's what is all about what Linux is, and how Red Hat has been evolved from the Linux operating system. And now let's look at what is Red Hat. So how this is different from a traditional Linux operating system. Okay, so as we have seen, Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux is a powerful than any other operating system. And the current version of Red Hat operating system is 8. And as I've said, whether you run it on an on-prem version or whether it runs on any hardware, your Red Hat Enterprise Linux supports multiple hardware platforms. That is, it can run on any cloud, any workload, on any operating system. So this gives the company flexibility to use the operating system, whether they are installing it in the on-prem on the data centers, or whether they are installing this operating system in public cloud. Okay, and then coming part to the Red Hat, Red Hat has a lot of products. It doesn't do only Red Hat Enterprise Linux. If you see on the extreme right and left, these are all the key products that Red Hat delivers. You can see the extreme top left, you have Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You have Red Hat virtualization, OpenStack, storage, followed by satellite. And the right side, you see Red Hat middleware, OpenShift, which is a popular container platform. We will talk about that one. And we also have Red Hat Cloud Forms, which can manage your entire infrastructure. And there is another important product which is called Red Hat Ansible automation platform, which automates your environment. So if you look at the entire picture, Red Hat gives you the software which can handle your entire organization, right from automation, right from container platform, right from virtualization platform. It can give you end-to-end solution to run an enterprise organization. So that is how Red Hat company is all about. So Red Hat is not just an operating system. It has lots and lots of other softwares that it provides to the customers. And coming back to the center portion of the slide, which is the open source community. So how these products are evolved. So how these products are being evolved in the market. So there is a community where people create their own products in the community. Like if you take an example of Fedora, Fedora is the upstream version of Red Hat Enterprise line of the upstream version of Linux. So Red Hat gives the additional support to the Fedora operating system so that customers can reach out to Red Hat if they have any issues in terms of any issues on the operating system. Similarly, all these products that you see in the center are upstream products, okay? And to all these upstream products, Red Hat gives you an additional support so that companies can have some confidence in using this particular softwares in their organizations. Okay, so we will not talk about all these components in depth because each and every product needs at least 1.5 hours to talk about these products. But for now, what we can discuss is we can talk about Red Hat Enterprise Linux, how it is different, and the two other important products are Red Hat OpenShift, which is nothing but your container. Yep. Okay. So container platform is the one which is trending in the market, where you can run containers on top of Red Hat OpenShift. And the other important tool is Red Hat Ansible automation platform, which can automate your entire infrastructure. So these are the core trending products in the market in Red Hat. So yeah, so when you are familiarized with Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you can slowly move on to the Red Hat OpenShift automation like Ansible, Cloud Forms, and those sort of products. That should be your learning curve. So we will discuss this learning curve at the end also, like what is that you need to start off with, and the career path also we will discuss. Okay, and then. Okay. Yeah. So this now we will discuss about how this Red Hat Enterprise Linux is different from other operating systems. Okay. So as I said, Red Hat Enterprise Linux is open source. So the meaning for open source, as I said, is the code for the operating system is free. So the companies or the user who is using the Linux will have the flexibility to download the kernel, and they can modify based on their requirements. And the second point is the Linux environment, which is Red Hat, is more secure compared to Linux because it has its own security inbuilt, which is nothing but your SE-Linux, firewalls, and lots of security features are involved in order to make the Red Hat Enterprise Linux more stable. And then, as I said, you can run your Enterprise Linux on any type of hardware, whether it is public cloud or it is on an on-prem version. And Red Hat Enterprise Linux is the preferred operating system for programmers. Most of the programmers in the market prefer to run their applications on top of Linux because they will have the flexibility to run applications on top of this Linux There are various reasons. That is, if you look at the software updates, right? The software updates is a key feature here. So basically, when you update your Windows operating system, you will have to reboot your systems. That will need downtime. So you will not be able to reboot any servers in real time right after the patching. So this is one of the disadvantages in other operating system like Windows. But in Linux, you don't have to do a reboot after the patching unless you are doing a patch for your kernel. Okay, that's the difference between the updates. So as you are not rebooting the server for each and every upgrade, you don't have to bring down the application, right? So that's the reason the programmers like the Linux operating system more, because you don't have to reboot for every patching. So that's when you will get the more uptime whenever you use a Linux operating system. Okay, and of course, you can do a lot of customizations. So as we have discussed, the code is freely available. You can do your own customization on your operating system based on the requirement. As far as Windows is concerned, you cannot do any changes at the code level, because the code is locked and the code is with Microsoft. You will not be able to do those changes in the Microsoft or other operating system. So that is the advantage of using Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux compared to Windows. And of course, you have variety of distributions. If you look at Windows, you have only one Windows, right? But if you look at Linux, you have Red Hat, you have Fedora, you have CentOS, you have lots and lots of options that you can use it based on your requirements. So that is the advantage that you get when you use Linux. And as I said, Linux is free to use because the code is free, and you will be able to download and use those Linux. And the code is readily available, which can be modified based on your requirement. And of course, as I said, as you have seen the community at the center of this diagram, right? So there is millions and millions of people working in community who provides this support, and you have lots and lots of support from the community as well. Though you have support from Red Hat, because when you have a Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you will get the 100% support from Red Hat. But still, there is a support from community as well, where lots and lots of people are working to improve the Red Hat products. So that's when the collaboration happens between open source projects and the Red Hat. Okay, and of course, the most trusted and reliable operating system is Linux, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, compared to Windows, where the organizations can safely run and deploy the application on top of this Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So that is the stability that you can get whenever you run your application on top of this Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, and what are the current skills that are in demand? Okay, so 90% of the managers, they find difficult to get a talent for the open source projects. Okay, so now you might see in the market that there are lots and lots of people who have done Windows certifications and they are waiting for the job. But in Linux, there are few people. I mean, in the market, you have very few people compared to Windows environment, where the market is in demand for these people who are Linux certified and Linux skills. So, so if you look at 73% of the organizations need developers with cloud skills. When I say cloud skills, it can be AWS, Azure, or Google. And 60% they are looking for a DevOps engineer. When you say DevOps, it's a combination of developer and operations, where you have to do a dual role, managing the development and operations. That is the DevOps engineer role. And then 53%, the market is looking for system administrators, where they will be responsible for doing the purely system administration task. But slowly in future, this 53% will merge into this DevOps, because slowly the DevOps engineers will be responsible for doing system administration tasks. So In future, you might end up with DevOps engineers and pure developers. Okay, so where the DevOps engineers will be responsible for doing system administration tasks as well as some part of development, deploying the application and some sort of development activities. Not a pure coding skills, but you will be doing some part of development in the DevOps engineer role. Okay, so this is how the market trend is going on. So based on this requirement, you can decide whether you wanted to go into the system administration stream or whether you wanted to go into DevOps engineer role, or you can also do a pure developer role as well based on your interest. And Red Hat has the courses for all of these three categories. If you want to do a system administration, you have a separate path for system administration. And for developers, you have a separate set of courses for developers as well, where you can get certified on those what you call products as well. Okay, so we will talk about those things in the upcoming slides. Okay, and then why Red Hat is important? The first thing is, if you look at these things, these are the major industries. Okay, that is, airline industries, telecom industries, healthcare industries, followed by financial industry, which is banks and government. So these are the 5 major industries that we need to target. So these organizations are totally leveraging on Red Hat operating system as the core operating system. Okay, so what is the reason for them to use this operating system? You can go back to the last slide and you can refer. So it is free to use, it is enterprise and operating system, it is very secure, very robust, and all those features that we have in Linux that made this organizations to use Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So you can understand Red Hat Enterprise Linux is used in the mission critical applications like what you see on the screen: airlines, telecoms, healthcare, and commercial. If you observe, the most important part is banking, right? So what happens if one of your server goes down in a banking sector? Whenever you're withdrawing your money from ATM, if your ATM doesn't work, and if you're trying to withdraw maybe 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, if the transaction fails, what happens? There will be loss, right? So this is only for as far as consumer is concerned. But what if the entire services of the banking goes down? So every minute counts in the bank. Similarly, healthcare is one of the core industry where they don't want a downtime even for a second. So that is how the industries rely on Red Hat. Okay, so all the core major industries are leveraging on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So you can understand the importance of Red Hat and why companies are leveraging on Red Hat, and that's the reason you have more jobs in this particular fields. Okay, and then so then we will move on to the common question that you have, right? What are the job roles that you can apply for after finishing your Red Hat certifications? So that's the next question that you have, right? So as I said, there are various roles in this in the entire industry. Okay, as we have seen, there are 2 types of roles, right? System administrator and developers role, right? For a system administrator, you can pick up the system administration and network engineering role, where you will be dealing with regular system administration tasks like managing Linux servers, rebooting them, patching them, and basically you need to work on a core operating system. And the other would be a kind of a developer role, where you'll be working as a full developer role, and you'll be developing your codes, running your codes on top of this Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And there is one more role which is called DevOps, which which is a combination of developer and administrator role. Okay, so that also is a possible role that you can opt for whenever you wanted to look for any roles. And apart from that, you also have cloud computing, where you'll be managing your cloud computing environment, be it a private cloud, public cloud, or a hybrid cloud environment. That's when you can also choose these options. But apart from Linux, you also need to know how cloud works and how you can deploy the operating system on top of those clouds. And basically, you need to know how to manage the cloud environment as well. Okay, but at the bottom, you need to know at the system administration level, you need to know how Red Hat Linux works. But in the cloud computing level, you also need to know how Linux works on top of this cloud environment also. Okay, so that's also thing. And then the edge computing, whatever the edge computing and IoT are the most common things are nowadays that people are using it. And the base operating system that they use is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You can also choose these two fields as well if you're interested in IoT, machine learning, or ML, AL kind of programming as well. Okay, and you can also be a pure software developer or a pure software engineer, where you'll be deploying your codes. It can be a Java, Python, C, C++, whatever is the code, and thereafter you'll be deploying those codes on top of this Linux environments. Okay, and then of course there are a lot of other areas as well, like cybersecurity, blockchain, virtual reality, and augmented reality as well. Okay, it all depends upon what is the what's how okay, so it all depends upon your interest, like what domain you wanted to choose, whether you wanted to do a cloud computing, edge computing, or you wanted to work on AI, which is your artificial intelligence or machine learning or deep learning, or you want to work on a pure software engineer. So you have to decide what you wanted to become based on the skill set and interest that you have, and pick one particular one particular role, and try to do certifications, complete certifications in order to achieve that particular role. Let's say if you're trying to, let's talk about system administration role. Okay, so let's say you wanted to become a system administrator. So for this, what you have to do? So you need to know how Linux works, how to install Linux, how to manage Linux, and how to do regular day-to-day tasks, right? So for that, you need to become a Red Hat certified engineer or Red Hat certified system administrator, so that you will gain those skill set in order to maintain your environment. So that is the approach for system administration. Similarly, for DevOps, you need to know the container platform, which is Red Hat OpenShift. You need to know some DevOps tools like Jenkins, Maven, and that kind of DevOps tools. You also need to know some sort of automation, which is nothing but your Ansible automation. So all these tools together, put together to give a DevOps environment. So based on your interest and your skill set, you can define what domain you wanted to choose, and after choosing that domain, you have to learn the technologies based on the domain that you have chosen. So that is how you need to pick your career path. Okay, and I've told you, right, like there are lots and lots of tools and companies which they're giving which they need resources in particular domain, like blockchain, AI, UI design, business analysis, all these things. Whatever softwares you see on whatever roles that you see on the left side, they all run on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. That is the core point here. So based on your interest, choose your domain, and from there choose your product and try to learn, get certified, and then you can scale up your skill set. Okay, and okay, now, so as you know, the roles, the path that you can choose. Now, which industries, what are the industries that are hiring students? Okay, who basically finish the basic Linux certifications. Okay, so for that, there are a lot of companies, as I told you, on the extreme left side, you can see the telecom industry, transport industry, which is Ola, Uber, you have Grab as well, you have food delivery like Zomato, Uber, Grab. All these things, all the different industries needs Red Hat engineers, because all these environments runs on top of Linux environment. So when I say Linux, it is not just Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, it can be Red Hat Enterprise Linux. It can be a Red Hat OpenShift container platform. It can be a Red Hat OpenStack platform. It can also be Red Hat Ansible platform as well. So So all these companies use in Red Hat, and they are in need of Red Hat resources. So whenever you decide your career path, whether you want to be a full stack programmer, full stack developer, or a developer, or a system administrator, you can do the certifications, and you can choose these organizations in order to get a job. Okay, so now I can give a simple example of Netflix also. Most of you guys know what Netflix is. It's an online streaming video website where this entire Netflix is running on OpenShift. So remember, just imagine how many videos people are watching every hour. So this entire Netflix is running on OpenShift, and the OpenShift is managing the entire infrastructure. So that is how the Red Hat products are used in the market. Okay. And then, of course, these are some of the companies, but this list is pretty much old. But there are lots and lots of other companies who are using Red Hat either as an operating system or as a container platform as well. So whenever you complete the certifications, you can either you can choose any one of these companies to get the job. Okay, so especially bankings, financials, and health sectors are using, including the government, are using Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, and then okay, so coming back to certifications, there is a global certification concept in Red Hat as well. Okay, so Red Hat GLS, global certifications. Okay, so Red Hat has a global certification program where it has 45 plus exams, and it has 60 plus courses. I don't think I think it has more than 60 courses, but 60 plus courses that you have, where when you register, you will have access to the 60 courses, and you can also, after completing the courses, you can also write and get certified on that particular course. Okay, and and the courses are span across multiple domains. It can be on a platform, middleware courses. You have cloud computing courses. You also have security courses followed by storage and virtualization. So there are various domains that we have, and each domain has some sort of courses, and each course has a particular exam. So the exam, as soon as you complete, you will be able to get a certification from Red Hat that will give you, first of all, it will give you two things. It will give you a confidence because all these exams in Red Hat are real time, and these are not multiple choice questions. All these exams are real time. So in the question, they will ask you to solve some sort of questions, and you should be able to solve the questions in a stipulated amount of time. Okay. So once you clear that exam, you will get a certification. So when you put that certification in resume, organizations know, okay, this person is Red Hat certified engineer. Okay. And in order to pass that exam, they know you have done a real-time exam, and the organizations know that this guy is a worthy candidate because he has certified from Red Hat, and those exams are not multiple choice. It's a real-time exam. So that sort of confidence will give you both to the students as well as to organizations. So for organizations, they can hire these candidates who are already certified because they assume that these candidates has a right set of skill set because you have cleared your exam. So that is the importance of certifications in Red Hat. So when you do a certification, it's a real-time certification where this certification has lots of weightage in the market. Okay, and as far as training is concerned, you have a classroom training. It can be an instructor-led training, where the instructor will come to your college or the institute from where you're attending. They can take the online, so the class for face-to-face class as well. Okay, and it can be an on-site. So it can be an on-site and virtual training as well. So if you know, right, you can also you also have the virtual trainings in Red Hat as well. There will be a pre-recorded sessions for all the courses, section-wise, topic-wise. You can go through those topics, and this GLS also provide you the lab access, where you will have access to the Red Hat labs, and you can test and practice your questions or your course in Red Hat lab as well. Okay, so that will give you a confidence in terms of managing that particular software, whether it is RHEL or whether it is OpenShift or any sort of product that you're working on. And you also have Red Hat learning subscription model. You can buy a Red Hat subscription model. Basically, this subscription model gives you access to all of these courses, whatever you see on the left side, for a year. So you have to pay some sort of amount where you will once you're registered to the subscription manager, you will be able to get access to all of these courses, and you will be able to learn these courses. And this subscription manager also comes with 5 exams, and you can also write exams for 5 courses as well with the subscription management. Okay, and everything is online. It's all HTML based access to your website, and everything is being uploaded into a Red Hat site. As soon as you log in, you can access your courses, and then from their courses you can launch your lab, and you can also launch your online or video classes where you can refer to those videos while you're practicing the session also. Okay, and okay, coming part of the test exams, right? The exams can be a classroom exams where you can go to any nearest exam center, like any institute, Red Hat certified institute, and you can opt for the exam there. Or you can go to any individual test center. So we have a test centers spread across the entire country. You can choose the nearest testing center, and you can go to the testing center and you can write the exam as well. Otherwise, you can also this year, I think last year the Red Hat has started the remote exams as well. So you don't have to go to any testing center or classroom. You can write your exam from your home with your laptop, and you have some sort of prerequisite that you have to follow. You need to have 2 web cameras and that kind of stuff. We are not going into depth in detail about that, but you can also take the exam from your home as well. Okay, so you don't have to go anywhere. Sitting in the exam in your home, you can read your content, you can get certified. So you don't have to go anywhere to do the certifications. Okay, and okay, so you have seen how you can learn and get certified, right? The next question is, okay, after finishing my certifications, what is my career path for next 5 years? That's the next question, right? So to answer these questions, as we have seen, right, there are various roles starting from system engineers to architects, VPs, managers, and directors. Okay, so it all depends upon how you want to progress in your, it all depends upon what is the field that you have opted for. Okay, so basically there are 2 domains, right? As for a software engineer, or it can be a system administration. If it is a system administrator role, the first role will be a system administrator role, and if it is for developer, it will be a software engineer. Now, immediately, and this role you can do it for 1 to 2 years, and then you can become a senior software engineer or senior systems engineer, where you are experienced and you'll be able to manage the entire Linux environment. Okay, so that you can maintain it up to 5 years. And after senior software engineer or senior system administrator, you can become a team lead. It can be a team lead for software team, or on the other side, you can be a team lead for a group of system administrators. Okay, and you will be managing the entire team on day-to-day activities. Okay, so whatever you see here is technical lead. So you are not managing the people here. You are managing the people, and you are also managing the infrastructure. So the technical lead indicates that you should manage both people as well as the infrastructure. Okay, and then you can, and after the technical lead, you can become the manager, and the manager also can be spread across multiple domains. You can be a software delivery manager, or it can be a infrastructure manager, or it can be a cloud manager or data center manager. Okay, and after that you can become a senior manager. Senior manager, it can be a software field, senior manager for software team, or it can be a senior manager for infrastructure team as well. Okay, and then the next level will be VP Director for Engineering team, where you will be managing multiple teams under you. Okay, so as a director, you will be giving directions to multiple teams, whether it can be a software team or it can be an infrastructure team. And at the next level, you can go to senior directors, CTOs, CIOs. That will be a next level of your career path. So the key takeaway here is the bottom portion. So as soon as you opt for a job, you will be given a system administrator role if you're going for an administration role, or it can be a software engineer. Then you will become a senior. From the senior, you will become a team lead. From there, you become a manager. So that is how the progression goes on in the entire career path. So if you take an example, my example, I have started as a system admin maybe 16 years back. And then I have worked as an administrator for 2 years, and then I have converted into a senior system administrator. And I worked as senior for 3 years. So that completes my 5 years. So after that, I became a team lead for the entire infrastructure team, and I was a team lead for next I think 4 years. Then after team lead, I was working as a principal consultant. Okay, so you might not see the principal consultant position here in this slide. Okay, the reason is every company has their own designation levels. Okay, so the company where I worked, they gave principal consultant. Principal consultant is nothing but a kind of a manager role, where you need to manage a particular group of people. Okay, so it all depends upon the companies. They can decide their own roles. And then after principal consultant, I become a solutions architect. And then I worked for architect for 3-4 years. And then now I'm working as a senior solutions architect. So this was my entire career in the 16 years. And this is totally based on Red Hat. Though I have other certifications like VMware, NetApp, and other certifications, my core competency is Red Hat. So you can look at the graph, the progression graph that I have throughout this entire career path. So I have seen a lot of candidates who had the same path, excellent career path in Red Hat, starting from system engineers, and now all my ex-students or colleagues or my friends, they are all in the topmost positions working as leads and managers. So that's how you can also be one of them after completing all the certifications. So also, in order to get into these positions, it doesn't mean that the number of years of experience, based on number of years of experience, they will not give you positions. Okay, so you will have to upgrade your skill set. Okay, so then after upgrading your skill set, write certifications, clear your certifications, update your resumes, and make your resume updated every now and then you will get more and more career opportunities. So writing one certification and waiting for an exam will not give you good career path. So every day is a learning curve. Every day you have to learn, and then you have to get certified, and through the number of certifications, you will be able to achieve that goal. So if you observe my certifications, right, I have Red Hat certified. I'm a Red Hat certified architect, right? So with that, Red Hat has confirmed that I am a Red Hat certified architect. So that gives an organization who is trying to hire me, right? They will come to know, okay, this person is certified from Red Hat. So it is a worthwhile candidate to hire into our company. So that is how the organizations will think whenever they try to onboard a candidate. Okay, so certifications is a must. So it doesn't mean that if you have certifications, they will hire you directly. No, certifications is just a gateway path to get an interview call. Okay, that's the first step. Second step is they will ask you the questions based on the number of years of experience, the certifications that you have. Then you have to crack the interview. Then you will be able to get the job. So there are two things: certifications and knowledge with your experience. So these three things will come into picture to get a job or to to go to a better position in your career path. So that is how this entire life cycle goes on. Okay, and this life cycle is pretty much same for everyone in the IT industries, whether you go in the software environment or software field, or whether you go into system administration field. Okay, and then of course this slide is specially for software engineers. As I told you, 0 to 3 years you can be a software engineer. You'll be working as an as a fresher. You will be working on developing the software and doing some sort of L1 task in the organization. Then after 3 years, you will move on to the senior software engineer role, which will be from 3 to 6 years, where you will be deploying the software. You will be the a role model to the freshers. So when you are senior software engineer, you will be the role model to your juniors, and you will be able to train them, help them to get into the next level. So that is the senior software engineer. And then you will move on to the a team lead position, which is from 6 to 9 years. You will be leading the entire team of software engineers, and you will be the role model for the entire team, giving them the suggestions, how to write a code, how to deploy the code, and all those kind of things will be done by a technical lead. And then after that, you can become a manager for an engineering team, whether it is software, and you can manage the entire team in order to build a particular software or application. Okay, and then after that you can become it can be a CIO, CTO, director, or senior director. It can be anything. So, but in order to go to that CIO or CTO levels, you need to know in and out of how your environment works. In your case, you need to know how the entire application life cycle goes on, and that's when you will get the experience, and you will be able to manage the entire infrastructure, including the people management. Okay, and what is value add? So value add also, right? So when you talk about value add, every company has their own their own way of compensation. Okay, so I mean to say salaries. Okay, some companies might give you only a salary. Some companies might give you food, taxi allowances, and some sort of allowances. And some companies might give you food, taxi, some holiday packages that you can go with your families. All these kind of things depends upon what company you are working with and the number of skill sets you have. Okay, so as soon as you improve your skill set, doing more number of certifications, you can go to a better organizations, which they call it as MNCs, where you get more and more facilities in the organizations. Okay, so like what you see on the screen, these are some of the facilities, but you'll get lots and lots of benefits when you go to MNCs, and that too, it all depends upon the skill set that you currently have, and based on the skill set and the number of years of experience you have, organizations can give you lots and lots of benefits. So again, in order to get more benefits, you have to be certified on more products, and you need to have that sort of experience so that the companies can also give you more benefits in your job. Okay, and these are few benefits, but there are lots and lots of benefits that you get in different companies. So this all internal to each and every company. So yeah, so that's how the benefits part goes on. And as I told you, right, the certification plays a major role in terms of increasing your salaries or going to a better positions. Okay, unless until someone certifies you, the organization will not know your skill set. So for that, Red Hat is helping you to get the certifications. Once you are certified from Red Hat, the organizations know that you are a worthful candidate, and then you will be hired in the organizations. So unless until you don't complete the certification, the organization doesn't know the capability that currently you have. Okay, so this is how you can progress by doing. This is how you can progress in your career, by doing certifications, trainings, and all those things in order to get to that particular level. Okay. And okay, let's move on. We'll move on to the Red Hat Academy. Red Hat Academy is
Sorry to interrupt. We do have Mr. Anish from Red Hat. He will talk about the category.
okay, sure. So let me skip this.
Thanks, Harin. I think if your technical thing is over, then we'll move on.
Yeah. So this one also Anish will cover, madam, or
Yeah, he will cover.
then that's all from my side.
Okay. Thanks, Arvind, for sharing the technical knowledge and career opportunities on Red Hat Technologies. Now I welcome Mr. Anish, GLS Manager from Red Hat, and who is an Amritan also, to share the benefits of Red Hat Academy. Anish sir, hope you're there.
Yes, Srilata, I am there. Good evening. Sure. Good evening, students. I'm glad, but I was expecting around 100 plus students from Amrita, but I could see around 25, 26 students join today. Wonderful. Still, I'm always glad that, I got an opportunity to connect with Amrita campus. I think they all are from Amritapuri campus. Okay, I think they all are from Amritapuri campus. So I am not going into in detail about the benefits or what kind of support. Nothing. The reason is I know Amrita students are always, they are extraordinary students, and the way Amrita is providing the placement support, they are not worried about getting a job immediately after completing their graduation or post-graduation. Having said that, I was going back to my old memories when I was there in Amrita, maybe around 25, 26 years old. We never had an opportunity that, somebody who is coming from the industry and guiding us that, okay, you have to do this to achieve this. If you want to join with a top tier 1 company, these are the things you have to have as a skill sets. But today you can see that Arvind has covered almost, it's a kind of Bible he has shared with all of you, that if you want to achieve a particular role in any of the organization or any particular sector or domain, you have to have particular skill sets. So with that, you have to decide how you want to make use of your campus life, how you want to make use of the time which is available for you. Whether you just want to focus only to complete and get a BTech or MCA or MTech certification, or whether you want to increase or upgrade some additional skill sets apart from what you are learning as part of your regular BTech curriculum. Because that is what going to measure you when you go for a placement, a group discussion or a placement interview. Because everybody is coming with a BTech graduation certificate. That is the last slide Arvind was showing, that value add. If one student is having maybe 90% marks, but he has not spent enough time for adding additional skills or certifications. But there are other few students, their BTech score is maybe less, maybe 60%, but they have got additional 2 or 3 skill sets or maybe some certifications. Obviously, based on my experience or our experience from Red Hat, is that the industry is going to hire the person who is carrying additional skill set. So obviously, he or she will pick the person who is having that global certification. Apart from that, as I mentioned, how you want to make use of your time when you are there at the campus. I know Amrita is conducting a lot of events, but currently because of this pandemic, maybe everything will be online. But still, they are engaging all the students by conducting different programs. That is where the importance coming to, how you can make use of this Red Hat Academy model. Like any other OEM, whether it is Microsoft, Google, or even IBM, Cisco, all these top tier companies having a model to come to the campus. That is what Red Hat also did. We brought this Red Hat Academy program into the campus, college campus. We have around 700 plus colleges and universities already signed up with Red Hat Academy partner. And most of the academy students are utilizing the benefit of that. What benefit you get? Like Amritapuri campus is, I think they have completed the formalities to become a Red Hat Academy partner. We have identified around which are distributed into platform, middleware, and containers and Kubernetes. All these 8 courses are freely available for you to access through an HTML content platform. You can download the setups. When I say setups means the software code you can download and you can configure your own laptops or desktops and continue accessing the HTML content and do the practice. You don't need to pay anything. You just need to register through your Red Hat Academy portal that Srilata and the manager, whoever is representing from Amritapuri campus, can coordinate together and get you the access to all these 8 courses. And once you complete the courses, you can choose whether you want to go for the certifications. Red Hat gives a 50% subsidy to all the certifications which are available for your academy students. There are 5 certifications currently available for you, because even though we have 60 plus courses and 45 plus certifications, you will not be able to complete that when you are there in the campus. So we have identified those preliminary courses and certifications and made it available for you. And obviously the questions will be that, okay, once I complete these certifications, what kind of support you can provide? I'll share one experience. Last 6 months, we have been trying to hire interns and trainees from our academies. We have not got, we could not fulfill our requirements. The reason is, when we are contacting all our Red Hat academies, all the Red Hat certified students are already placed. And the students, those who are left over, they have not taken any certification, so we cannot hire them. So that is the reality we are facing now. And all our customers, if I take even IBM or Infosys or Wipro or TCS, even the government organizations, they all are using Red Hat products, but they are not getting skilled resources to manage those products, whether it is into implementation, whether it is into coding. So we are requesting all our partners and all our Red Hat Academy partners that you please join this particular program and add on different certifications onto your skills so that you will be able to target the tier 1 companies. I'm not expecting you to join with the tier 3 or 4 companies. You have to dream. I know most of you have to, are expecting to join with the top tier 1 companies, maybe Microsoft, IBM, Google, Amazon. But you have to see that whether you are equipped to join with those companies, whether you have the skill set to meet the company's expectations. That is where, this engagement like Red Hat Academy helps you. So we are coming to your campus. So as Arvind rightly said, that you don't need to go anywhere to, write any exams. You can write the examination from your home. You can write your examination from your campus. So that much facility is currently available. Having said that, I don't have anything else to add here. As Arvind has already given you a brief about Linux, importance of Red Hat, importance of the different job roles, what all industries and sectors and domains are available for candidates who has open source skills. Guys, the industry is looking for you, and every IT organization is changing their IT infrastructure and customer interactions based on this because of this pandemic. they are not getting desired skills. And we all are expecting, and we all are having great hope from you guys, the students, those who are there in the campus. So you have great opportunities. Put some extra effort, learn some additional skills. I'm not insisting you to go for certifications, but at least you should gain some additional skills. This will definitely help you to gain, the dream job which you are dreaming now. Having said that, I will wish you all the very best. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you can directly reach out to your academy manager there in the Amritapuri campus. I think that is Anup. I'm not sure. Or you can always reach out to Srilada. Srilada, maybe she can share her contact details in maybe the chat box, so that they can reach out directly to Srilada and then get the input. Over to you, Srilada.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving them valuable inputs and encouraging them to get more knowledge, not only on Red Hat technologies, but anything they would like to go, they should they should have as students, what technologies they should work on, and how should they prepare for their career opportunities. Thanks, Arvind. Thank you, sir. And we are constantly in touch with all the students, and you can reach out to Mr. Anu. He's the point of contact in Amritapuri campus, I guess. Today is not available, but anyway, we'll come back to you. Any questions?
I can give my contact details here. If anybody wants to reach out to me directly, they can reach me at redhat.com. My mobile number is 9901201249. Yeah, I have given it's there in the chat box, my email ID and mobile number. If you have any questions, one-to-one, if you want to ask, you can reach me directly. Always welcome.
I hope they don't have any questions. Anybody interested to ask something? Either to Arvind or...
There is one question, madam. What are the certification courses given as free for us from Krishna? The chat box.
Okay. I think, do you have that slide, Arvind?
I don't have free courses, madam.
It is basically RHCSA, RHCE, and OpenShift.
I have this slide, but just a minute. Let me share my screen. But I'm not sure whether these courses are free. This one.
Yeah. Somebody is trying to talk. Yeah. Can you?
Yes, ma'am. This is Yasha Krishna here. I was the one who posted the question.
Yeah. Arvind is showing the slide. You can go through that. What are the courses available for you?
Okay, ma'am.
So the first column, right, Krishna, which is basic system administration courses. So system administration courses are split into 3 courses, 1, 2, and 3. So this is the path for system administrators who wanted to become a system administrators. And then you can also opt for cloud computing, which is CL110, which is on OpenStack. And you can also go for D180, which is introduction to the container platform and OpenShift. And for a software developers, they can opt for JBoss, which is JB283 and JB183. Those are the 2 courses if you want your career into your software development. So these are the 5 courses.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm already RH certified. Like I've completed RH CSA.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've also completed this Ansible automation certification.
Good.
So
Good.
I'm looking to become the actually I'm trying out for RH CE.
CE,
Like
which is
I'm actually
294. Yeah.
294.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I've been practicing that. I took the exam, but unfortunately I failed. So I'm actually planning on reattempting it. But the cost seemed so high, so I'm waiting for another opportunity.
What is your name? I didn't catch your name.
Yasha Krishna, sir.
You're from which campus?
Amritapuri campus, MTech CSE.
Okay, from where did you take the exam? You learn yourself
I
and then you...
no, I went to a training institute. Okay, actually, it's not a training institute. I went for internship there,
Okay.
to a company called Linux World Informatics. So that is where
Oh,
they trained me, and I took the exam there.
okay, got it.
Okay.
So you should become
So
an ambassador. You should become an ambassador there in Amritapuri campus because, see, mostly, everybody's talented, not talented. Everybody is very, extraordinary sometimes. Sometimes
yes,
some students expect a guidance. See, like for example, if I have already visited Singapore, I can come back and explain, what is that I have prepared and how is my experience, so that if anybody wants to go there again, they will be able to prepare. Similarly, you already have the taste of Red Hat training and certifications, and you should be able to share this among your friends and the students, those who are there in the campus, so that this will be a value add for your friends and the students there in the campus.
sure, sir.
Yeah, as I rightly mentioned, the industries, the organizations are struggling because day before yesterday I have seen one um, news that the three top companies from India, I think Wipro, TCS or Infosys, they have hired around 74,000 people um, last year during the pandemic. So when we are interacting with these companies, CTOs and the hiring managers, their challenge is that they are ready to hire students from the campus, but unlike earlier, they are not in a position to spend another 3 to 6 months and train these fresh graduates on different technologies. They are expecting the students to learn the emerging technologies, the current technologies which the company is looking for. To learn those technologies, you should know what the companies are using, what the companies are preparing for. Because of this pandemic, every organization is making changes into their IT infrastructure, their application integration, the customer interaction. Banking sector is changing like anything, because tomorrow we don't know whether we will have banks nearby, ATMs nearby, we don't know. So that is how the IT infrastructure, IT sector is changing gradually. So the opportunity is for you. So if you are not equipped with the skills which they are looking for, it will be difficult.
Yes, I do agree with that. And also with 5G coming, I was told that OpenShift has, a boom.
OpenShift and OpenStack. Mainly the telecom companies are using Red Hat OpenStack. Even if you see Microsoft Azure and Amazon, Microsoft, I never expected that they will have a partnership with Red Hat. But Microsoft is partnered with Red Hat. Amazon is partnered with Red Hat. SAP is partnered with Red Hat. Most of the OEM is partnered with Red Hat because they are depending on Red Hat Linux, because that is the core. I sure want Red Hat to support their cloud platform. We agreed, because that is how the industry works. So even if you're going to work in Microsoft, even if you're going to work with Google or Amazon or any other organizations, you have to touch at least one Red Hat product. So if you carry that Red Hat skills, Red Hat technology skills, that is going to be a value add for you when you are going for a job.
Okay, sir. So one more last question. Okay. So how do I get into Red Hat? It has, like, ever since I wrote the first examination, it has been my dream company.
See, January, this is April, right? 3 months back, we have conducted one internship drive. We could not get sufficient CVs, biodata from the colleges. And
Okay, sir.
1 month before, I think April, this month also, we have conducted one internship drive. We have not got sufficient resumes from the campus. What the colleges are saying that those who are already certified, they are already placed.
Okay.
So that is the challenge which we are facing. So what you can do once, the academy manager and Srilata complete the agreement formalities.
Okay, sir.
We are requesting the partners to prepare a list of students, those who are waiting for placement in next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. So we will be collecting those CVs and we will be submitting to internally Red Hat, IBM, and we are talking to around 6 top companies in India. They are looking for freshers with Red Hat certifications. So we will be sharing these CVs with those companies and expecting you to get a call from those companies. That is how we are working with these academies.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I think, Srilata, we can wind up. It's already 5:15, 5:17. If they can always reach me or you, because I have shared my contacts and you have shared your contacts.
Sure.
Any technical questions, we can redirect them to Arvind so that he can address.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for attending and getting some knowledge from them. We'll just wind up. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Arvind.
We should have one more session because I expect maybe 300, 400 old students from Amritapuri campus. Because I know the potential of Amritapuri campus. And we should extend this to other campus also. So you can work with them directly and then see how you can take it forward. Thank you so much. All the very best. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Bye.